Okay, let's get back to talking technicals as well. Mangalam just gave us a roundup of how the futures and options data is stacked up. Siddarth Bhamre of Angel Broking now joins us to give us some strategies. Morning, Siddarth. What's the Nifty strategy today?
Good morning, Lata. We remain optimistic on this bounce back, and this probably, in this series itself can take us to 7350, 7400 levels. So that kind of optimism we are carrying. Last week we were mentioning that how in this expiry or this series, FIs have been net long significantly in index futures, and how they have been buying call option throughout. So if you can acknowledge the fact that despite market going down significantly from 7400 levels to around 6800, but still there was hardly any unwinding which was seen in 7400 call option, and these are the very call options which FIs were buying in initial part of this expiry, and they are still standing in them. I won't give too much of weightage to what has happened to index futures on the FI front yesterday, because it's not a huge figure, and I will carry forward the optimism. At the same time, despite yesterday market being flattish with positive bias, we have seen significant rise in implied volatility from 16.5, 17 to 19%, which suggests that there is unnecessary pessimism which has crept in, and people are giving more weightage to hedging their positions on the downward side. So I carry forward the optimism which we had last week till the end of this expiry, and I'm expecting Nifty to give you 150 plus point bounce back in remaining trading session. That is 3 trading sessions.
All right, Siddarth, we'll come to some individual stocks in a bit, but before that, let's take a short break. In the meantime, let's hear out some important market opinion. Pankaj Vaish of Citi believes that India needs to have the right political legislative agenda in order to attract investments. Listen in.
As soon as you get the Federal Reserve situation in terms of what was initially thought many hikes, that scale back, I think you will see dollar EM also stabilize. And I don't think the Federal Reserve is out to do anything irresponsible at all. It probably made sense that we needed to hike, and I think they did the right thing. But they will do it at a pace not to at least add any additional destabilization to the market, which was already wobbly from so many other issues. I think once that comes to the fore, carry trades and seeing whichever emerging market there are some reasonable fundamentals, people will come back to it. I think the love affair of emerging markets is still very country specific. If India had the right political legislative agenda moving forward, I think you would see a lot of people still come into it in tens of billions of dollars a year. The huge excitement that we had in 2007 and again in 2014, that may have been tempered, but it is still very country specific. Any country which can get its house in order can do really well.
Renault Passion for Life presents Headlines of the Day. Brought to you by Renault Passion for Life.
guys, welcome back to the show. Well, the SGX Nifty is really flat, so it's not giving you any indication of taking forward the rally that we saw in the US markets. Let's see, we've been gaining for 4 days. Maybe it could fizzle out today, but we have 2.5 more minutes to go. And before the break, we were speaking with Siddarth Bhamre about a couple of his stocks. Siddarth, you have some interesting stocks on your list, a buy on Cipla and on Dabur. Take us through that.
Yes, Sonia. Cipla has been a major underperformer in this series compared to big wigs like Sun Pharma, Lupin, Dr. Reddy's, to name few. What we have observed that from 600 levels, the stock has added some serious short positions, and now at current levels of 525, 530, the stock is taking support. Yesterday, stock did ended at high point of the day, though the move was not very significant, around 1%. I am expecting a short covering bounce in this counter. I'm not expecting a runaway rally. So probably from current levels of 530, 531, stock can bounce to 558, 560 odd levels. Fix the stop loss around 517 and go long over here. Dabur again, this is more, we have got motivated by what we have done in HUL. Yesterday we mentioned to buy a call option, at the money call option in HUL. The stock has moved up nicely. Getting inspired by that, Dabur again, has been consolidating in a range. And yesterday again, even this stock showed good bounce back. And interestingly, there was significant addition of open interest, which suggests that this is long position. So unlike Cipla, I'm expecting Dabur to go up and show a breakout from current levels with formation of long position rather than short covering. So here too, I'm expecting a decent upside. 261 is what I'm expecting. Fix the stop somewhere around 239 and go long.
Okay, and finally you also have a buy on Tata Power.
Yeah, this is kind of a riskier call, high risk, high return kind of space. This is a dog kind of stock, not given any return since quite some time. Last 10 trading sessions, if you see, huge addition of open interest in a tight range of 58.50 to 60. I am believing that this is more of long positions at such low levels. That's the reason I have initiated long positions in Tata Power. I'm expecting stock to show a sharp bounce back till 66, fix a stop loss of 56 and go long over here. This is high risk, high return trade.
Okay, let's come back to you all for more strategies in just a minute, because I guess in about 20 seconds we are going to get the pre-opening rates as well. The SGX Nifty should come up for you. It was marginally higher when we last checked. The very positive US cues have not translated into that positive Asian cues, and so we have seen a bit of subdued performance by the SGX Nifty, but let's see how things open for us as well, how it opens for the rupee. Okay, this is divergent trends at this point in time, Sensex and Nifty. Not, in fact, equally divergent, 0.2% up one and 0.2% down the other. I guess there'll be a lot of knock on Punjab National Bank. That's a given. That stock will take it on the chin, the one that goes out. Okay, why are we starting with IndusInd Bank with so much losses? I think we have to wait for the markets to settle down. Not just yet. Tata Motors starts with a huge green tick. The rupee is about 5 pice weaker. The dollar, when we closed yesterday, cost 68.60, now costs 68.65. We have seen a little bit of pressure on the rupee. Well, nothing very alarming at this point in time. We are still a distance away from the 2-year-old or the 3-year-old low of 68.86, so that's still stable. Tata Motors DVR, that's the one that should be up and about. That gets included, as will be of course Bharti Infra 10. PNB is among the stocks that moves out, and that should see negative. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, the Tata Motors DVR is the big mover this morning, as you pointed out, up almost about 10 odd percent, but it's hovering between that 8 and 10% range. The Tata Motors stock is also moving, so that as well. But as we have been saying, as Anuj has been saying, the discount will now narrow significantly between the Tata Motors stock and the Tata Motors DVR. So it could narrow all the way down to about 5 to 10%, and that's why you're seeing that big spike up as it gets added into the Nifty. Aisha Motors, the other one that will get added along with Bharti Infratel, so you could see some amount of traction in some of these names as well. Prakash, come in on Tata Motors DVR. Prakash Diwan, what would your view be and how should one approach it?
Yeah, I think it certainly kind of becomes very attractive while the underlying performance of the stock has also been good. Tata Motors itself has been in some sort of a positive zone. And remember, investors, individuals, and HNIs and all who want to buy Tata Motors and who are not so hecked up about the voting rights definitely can leverage by buying the DVR. It's available at a decent discount. At peaks it used to be 38%. It's come down to 22%. It could probably narrow down in single digits, which means there's enough of an upside on Tata Motors DVR, and the liquidity will also get a lot of institutional investors to look at this stock now. And remember, the ETFs will have to buy in afresh. So that's, as and when they come back. So there's huge appetite build up, headroom for buying in. And I think anybody who does it even today will benefit, even if it opens 10%, I would still be a buyer.
Okay. Well, among the other stocks that go out of the Nifty are Cain and Vedanta. Those stocks only lately were moving up a wee bit because of the improvement in crude prices. But Cain and Vedanta come up for you. Unimpressive performance, just flat at this point in time. So just to recount, Tata Motors up about 2%. That's because of the shadow impact from Tata Motors DVR, which is up about 10%. BHEL got an order from Bangladesh and beat even L&T to it. So that stock is up at about 2%. Bharti Airtel, as Reema was telling us, Business Standard News report says that there could be a little bit of a parent stake increase in Bharti Airtel, both by the Mittal family as well as by Singtel. So a wee bit of positivity on that stock. ICICI Bank starts with a slightly positive note. It's about 1% higher, with news reports indicating that they are aggressively going to take over assets from JP. We haven't independently confirmed this, but that's the news report. And among the negative stocks, NTPC, understandably, more shares are going to come in the market, and that's down about 2.7%. PNB is down, it's out of the index. Other stocks that are showing a little bit of pressure are Zee Entertainment and Ultratech Cement, but I guess we have to wait for the market to settle down.
Oh yes, in fact, let's go back to Siddarth Bhamre and get a final call from him. Siddarth, you have a call on Tata Power as well this morning. What's the strategy there?
Yeah, so I was mentioning that it is a high risk call, and I'm expecting a big uptick over there. So that's the reason I'm suggesting to go long, and I also have view on this Tata Motor DVR thing. So I would like to comment here that if you remember 1.5 years back, probably same kind of arguments were there, that how DVR globally trades. So in US we have seen DVR trade at 5% to 10% discount. In Europe we have seen DVR trading at 15% discount. Emerging markets, I think DVR should not trade at a rate which is like 80 or 85%. That time also we have seen that Tata Motors DVR almost reached 80-85% of the price of motors, and then it came down to 60%. It has added into index. I think there's no reason to get excited about this. It will continue to trade at 25 to 30% discount over a medium term. So I won't suggest someone to get very excited about this DVR thing.
Okay. Well, the usual chorus pre-budgets, railway budgets, is to buy some of the railway stocks.
Oh yes.
Is there anything that will prevail, like for instance ABB or Alstom, things which perhaps have other reasons to be bought?
Yeah, so yes, these are much more safer bets. Even if nothing comes through, at least they have enough of business to keep chugging along. But the railway this time around, Lata, the announcement related to railways has been much beyond the budget and before the budget as well. I mean, through the year you've seen announcements. So there's one company that probably goes unnoticed relatively when every time you talk about Tex Maco and Titagarh and all. But one of these companies that we've been tracking is called GPT Infra, which is a specialist on making sleepers, which are things that go between the two tracks. And there's a huge budget that's been allocated for track replacement, upgradation of tracks because of the safety issues and all. Because we've been using the British time stuff and still kind of thinking it will help. So that's one company that's turned around. In fact, it started getting into operating leverage. Maybe next quarter should probably be very stellar. So you would probably look at that. It's not yet very liquid, but that's the only company that I find with a slightly distinct story in the making.
Okay. Ashwini, is there any long trade in Bharti Airtel? That one looks like it will start on the front foot.
Well, it's already up for several days in a row. I don't think it's showing a great amount of traction. Plus, I think budget-sensitive stocks will do much better than your average stock. So maybe today I would go for Oro Pharma. Not that it's budget-sensitive, but given that it's coming out of correction, plus has positive news. So Bharti is probably coming to the end of its rally, getting closer to 345, 350.
All right. Well, just stay on, gentlemen. The market is now absolutely flat, so it looks like the Nifty may not move too much. At least that's what the pre-opening rates are suggesting. And in terms of individual stocks, it is the Tata Motors DVR that could be the big mover today, and a couple of other names like Bharti Airtel could also be in the green. By the way, Bharti has been one of the biggest movers this month. Very slowly and steadily, the stock has given you gains of almost 15% in this month. So there's some technical moves there. But let's hear out some more trading ideas in our segment Super 6, and we'll come back.
Okay, well, those are some of the trading ideas for you to work with. Prakash Diwan, before we let you go, any other ideas? I mean, there are stocks that have fallen enough in the mid-cap space, the likes of Jubilant Food. Any other urban consumption or any other themes that you would play in the mid-cap space?
Oh yes, I still stick to some of my old-time favorites, stocks that I believe have still not been discovered fully, and one of them is from the micro irrigation space, and that's EPC industry. We get to again obsessed with JN Irrigation because that's the poster boy of that vertical, but I think EPC's turned around itself and it's got the Mahindra group backing it, and they're going to finally start using the entire rural value chain to back it up. So once that happens, and Mr. Modi has already gone on record saying he needs more productivity, more water out of every drop, and so that can only happen through micro irrigation. So EPC industry should definitely be a big beneficiary.
All right, thanks for pointing that out to us, and thank you very much for joining us as well. The Sensex and the Nifty are still indicating a little bit of different moves, not divergent. Both of them are in the green, but the Nifty is up just about 0.08% or 0.1%. The Sensex is showing a slightly brighter shade of hue.